Yeah, just ZerO of a player I love watching. I'm really happy that I've followed him kind of like throughout his entire career in Pro League. I started watching him way back when, round of one, when I started commentating. Really liked his his style of play. He wasn't like as rounded out as he was now. He lost more, but he always showed like a sign of beautiful play here and there, a sign of solidity. He is a little bit known for not always being absolutely consistent, but he can pull out wins when they're very necessary and really, really needed. He's often made up for a loss, like for instance in the Pro League, he's made up for a loss in like the second match by winning an ace, you know, things like that. Just he really can pull out a win when it's necessary. He's kind of become really overtaken free as the Woonjing Stars ace, in my opinion. Here going for a 3-hatch economic build. We're going to see whether he goes with the standard 3-base Spire into 5-hatch Hydra. I've seen him use that plenty of times. He's very effective with this. Is putting down at least one production hatchery. He's putting down that Spire. I believe he went down before that. Beast on the opposite side is getting his Silva doing alongside his target, so we are going to see some Corsairs flying for him soon. He still has that probe running around all over the place, getting the full-on scout, staying alive, just something that Bisu can do so well. Another production hatchery going there down for 0, and Bisu still just running around, getting the full-on scout. Is almost loses the probe there, but still manages to barely keep it alive. Corsair now is out. He's going to go start harassing some warlords and get the continued scout. Should be able to kill at least one overlord before it dies. Oh, yeah, sneaks his probe through with a pylon. Beautiful play, and now going to just continue being irritating, get the scout. And ZerO obviously a little bit irritated. He's like, oh, come on. Almost killed that damn probe, still alive. But is getting his second extractor, so he's going full on economy. And Bisu's not going to be able to kill at least one single overlord. And Templar Archives come out for Bisu, so Bisu might be going for a Dark Templar build here. We're going to see how effective he is with that. Really look forward to seeing whether ZerO scouts that and how effectively he'll be able to stop that. Is finally going to get the probe, though, so at least one irritating scout is gone down. Now, Evolution Chamber also now up, so we are most likely indeed going to see Hydralisk with that Hydralisk Den on the ground as well.
Yeah, there wasn't much for Bisu to scout there. ZerO is going for a very, very standard play here, and so is Bisu, really. He's putting down a cannon inside of his main, which makes me think he's going to anticipate Mutalisk coming his way soon. Oh, the first Dark Templar out, and I think ZerO spotted this. I think ZerO actually did spot that glitch on the map, and I think he knows that the Dark Templar is coming. Yes, he's positioning his Overlord at his base. Some very nice game sense from him, actually spotting that at the right moment. He's going to have an Overlord at each base. Of course, he's got to have Scourge prepared to take out those Corsairs, because the Corsairs could completely destroy his chances of protecting that new base down there. And I think that new base is exactly what Bisu is going to go for with that Dark Templar. A couple of Scourge coming in, so Bisu knows where the Scourge are. He could use that in his advantage, go in here. Oh, sneaking in, tried to sneak in, going in anyway under that Overlord. Yep, he spots the Sunken, so Bisu's got to camp out for a while, maybe take out a couple of Zerglings if he can. Looks like he's transitioning into High Templar here. That'll definitely help him fight off the huge amount of Hydralisks that are probably going to be pushing into his natural expansion very, very soon. Of course, Bisu at this point in time has got to think about taking his third base, but this is pretty much the most dangerous time for a Protoss to take their third base, even though it's completely necessary, because ZerO is getting ready to pump just so many Hydras, and he's going to try to break the front. Oh, he's almost surrounding that Dark Templar. He does not have Overlord speed, but I'm positive that he's researching it right now. He has Lurkers out, actually, so he's going for a Lurker build, a build I've seen a lot of other Zergs go for on this map. Jaedong went for it against Bisu, actually, to hold the high ground with those Lurkers, but unfortunately, Jaedong lost that game. So we'll see if ZerO can do something that Jaedong could not, actually beat Bisu on this map.
Yeah, just Bisu now moving out with a quite large ground force. He's going to go around, start hunting some more Overlords to prevent detection. Now, I honestly think that first Dark Templar was simply to make, possibly even to make ZerO scout that, because he only built one single one, then he went for High Templar alongside. Maybe just get that first initial Dark Templar, get it scouted, then force ZerO to start putting down second colonies, because of course those are resources that he's making ZerO use. And now Bisu's at 5 gateways, getting a robotics facility, still has those 3 Corsairs flying there, not producing additional ones. Zergling speed down for ZerO, so he's going to have a lot of those Zerglings. He's going to be able to use those for surroundment purposes. Is now going to get a base at the 6 o'clock position, a 4th base. So Bisu now possibly think. I think he might have enough forces down at this point to be able to take a third. He is, I believe, taking the third at the upper right. Is getting an observatory from that robotics facility, so he's definitely going to need that to help him against those lurkers down the field. Quite a few lurkers morphing in. Hydra is still on site. Some Scourge, some Zerglings running out all over the place, and some Overlords being grouped up, so might be coming a drop in soon. ZerO might be thinking of a drop at the main, and Bisu only has, I think, a cannon defending that, so if ZerO goes for a drop, that could be fairly effective if Bisu's not doesn't move his forces back in time. At the moment, Bisu just mining out the minerals at the upper right hand corner, just grouping up most of his dragoons at the main, just getting a pretty powerful ground army. No Archons in the ground. I find that a little bit interesting because a lot of Protoss players, when going for a heavy ground army, tend to go for very heavy Archon play, but Bisu playing the kind of more old school, more standard play where you get a lot of Templar and only morph them to Archons once they all run out of storms. So just so far a little bit of a lull in the action. ZerO just getting his forces together, grouped up, positioning himself, possibly thinking of going for a job. Just has a lot of lurkers, and I'm not quite sure if he knows that Bisu has that upper right hand base. I assume he does. Has gotten weapons 1 for his Hydralisks and is getting his 4th up. So both players just microing up insanely. 2 evolution chambers up, so a full-on upgrade is going to be on the way for ZerO. And Bisu still just getting a huge army on the ground. So I'm expecting an engagement fairly soon, either at Bisu's upper right or closer to the middle.
Yeah, this is working out a lot like Jaedong versus Bisu. Actually, Jaedong went for pretty much the same thing. Since it's so hard for a Zerg to expand on this map, there are a lot of narrow passages, and it's hard to hold that high ground for a long time. A lot of Scourge coming in here to take out those Corsairs, and ZerO knows where these Corsairs are, almost taking out that Corsair. Did take out 1 Corsair, but yeah, Bisu's going to have to break through a massive lurker line here if he wants to get past. Actually, he's bypassing the lower lurker line, and ZerO's actually in full retreat mode here. He's got to hold his front, and basically with this strategy, ZerO has got to, well, queens, 4 queens out for ZerO. What the hell is 5 queens out for ZerO? What in God's name is he going to do with these queens? I guess going to try. No, that's way too many queens for ensnare. I think he's going to spawn Broodling something here soon. But it looks like Bisu is pushing in here. He's going to have to break through a lot of lurkers. And like I said, with the strategy, ZerO's got to use those Scourge very effectively to actually hit those observers, bring in a couple of Overlords at the same time. There's a couple of Sunkens, and ZerO is hiding his queens, and he's getting the energy up, so I have no doubt this is a spawn Broodling build. Oh my god, I can't wait to see how they pan to Bisu's face when he sees all of the spawn Broodlings that are going to be happening here. I think this is for the Templar. I think he's going to spawn Broodling the Templar. Either that or he's going to mix it up, maybe ensnare and spawn Broodling. Oh my god, this is going to be nuts. Whatever happens. And Bisu, he knows about that 6 o'clock base. He scouted it earlier with his Corsair, so he's trying to decide whether he should try to risk breaking through the lurker trap here, but this is going to be nuts.